Welcome to Dajobnik.
3 months ago, savages crossed to the other side and slaughtered so many innocent people. After October 7, there was no way, not to come and stand with the people. I saw the massacre footage, which, changed my life. My life would never be the same after October 7.
Looks like you're disappointed in a personal level.
Because it is very personal. It's very personal.
You were very angry.
I was very angry, and I'm still angry. For many years, I spared my father. For many years, I gave him justification. I saved his life. And it was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
It was a mistake. He's insisting in staying in this sick ideology. And you think he has an idea what happened on October 7? I need to take him and stick his head in the blood of the massacre. He may feel for a little bit what happened on October 7. When I stood against suicide bombing attacks some 20 years ago, this was madness in a society where the majority, the vast majority agreed. I disagreed. And that was my punishment. For just to think differently in order for me to express myself freely meant for me to be executed.
Were you surprised by what happened on October 7?
Look, Hamas brutality was not a strange thing for me. I witnessed Hamas brutality firsthand for a very long time when I was in prison. They tortured people, they killed people in the worst possible way for suspicion of collaborating with Israel. I cannot pretend that I did not hear their voices. People were screaming day and night in pain of a crime that they haven't or hadn't committed. None of them had a relationship with Israel.
Knowing what they do to people in prison, were you afraid for your father's life when you came out in public about your story?
Of course, it was a very dangerous situation, but also he's a top leader. So usually who gets punished in that society? Those who don't have power. But those who have power, they get away.
That brings me to Sinwar. They call him the butcher from Khan Younis.
He suffocated people with his own hands. He slaughtered people, beheaded people with his own hands. And those people were Palestinians. He's a monster. Self-deluded, psychopath, dangerous criminal. He bragged about himself beheading someone on the prison sink. And this is his heritage. This is his resume. This is his empire. There will be a day that I'm going to celebrate the end of this monster.
Have you ever met him?
No.
You met Salah al-Aruri, right?
Yes, I met Saleh al-Aruri in prison. Killing Saleh al-Aruri was a message to Hania and to the rest of Hamas Shura Council that your turn is next.
Yeah, but the question is, how much does the Hamas leadership abroad and in the West Bank means anything to the leadership in Gaza?
Of course it means, because they are the ones with the money. Sinwar is not the one who's bringing the money. Somebody like Sinwar, he knows only prison cell. He knows only, this is why he has been digging tunnels, because this is his natural environment. He can only be in a cell under the ground, while the others with the money, if they close the faucet on Sinwar, or Sinwar would suffocate. So basically, they are all complicit. They are all partners in the crime.
What's Hamas' goal?
Well, Hamas doesn't even know what goal they have, because their goal is not in this life. Hamas does not believe in this life. Hence, they want to kill, then get killed. After getting killed by the name of Allah, they get rewarded in the afterlife. They are the sword of God on earth, and they see the Jewish people as the disobedient, the ideology that actually sees the Jewish people inferior, sees the Jewish people as enemies of Allah, that in fact, killing the Jewish people is considered a way of worship. Why would any sane, decent human being would go into a farm, a kibbutz, and kill all form of life, to kill a baby, to burn a baby based on religious, basically defines ethnic cleansing, defines a genocide. Humanity cannot coexist with savages like Hamas. 3 months ago, savages crossed to the other side and slaughtered so many innocent people. I'm observing, the absurdity of Hamas work over 20 years, digging tunnels under schools, under civilized areas. There is no chance for peace with Hamas. Hamas must be finished. That's it. There is no alternative option. We cannot coexist with Hamas, not as Israel, as free individuals. And by the way, by standing with Israel doesn't mean necessarily that I'm going against the innocent people, if there is any. We are here in Khan Yunis area. Right above us, there is a school. And this is what Hamas has been doing.
Are there non-involved people in Gaza?
The vast majority of Palestinians are complicit with Hamas because they voted for Hamas, they protect Hamas, and most importantly, they failed their moral responsibility to condemn Hamas. The least you could do.
Your father, you know what he said when they asked him about the massacre? He said, mistakes will be made. We are human and human makes mistakes.
My father said that?
Yeah.
Where?
In one of his interviews.
Is he taking responsibility for his mistake? Is this the way of Allah? You send people who are like killing machines going into peaceful communities, wiping everybody out. You call that a mistake? A genocide as a mistake? What are you expecting? Forgiveness? From who? From the victims? From their families? From all the suffering people right now?
Prisoners like Ibrahim Hamid, Abdullah al-Barghouti must be sentenced to death.
You opposed the release of prisoners with blood on their hands, saying they should be executed, including everybody, including your own father?
Including Sheikh Hassan Yousef. Yeah, because there is no exception. My father, for many years, 36 years of incitement, want everyone to go and die for the cause, to die on his behalf. So my question, why didn't you go first? But where is he now? He is in his Israeli prison cell, safe and well and protected from his rival Palestinian parties. Israel is doing him a big favor by putting him in prison. Otherwise, Fatah would kill him. I needed to draw the line. That's finished. There is no family business here. And honestly, after 45 years of this struggle, of this crazy human journey, I tell you, I could care less for any tribal interest. I don't care for that. Eventually, the truth will be revealed of what's so-called Palestine. Yeah, which is non-existential. It never existed.
But we have to make the difference between Hamas and the Palestinian people. We don't have a fight with the Palestinian people in Gaza.
Why do you say it doesn't exist?
It's non-existential because Palestine is not a nation. It's not a country. It's never been a country. It's an idea, yes. There are Turks, there are Persians, Romans, Christians, Ottomans. It's so many conflicted tribes, and the only thing that is bringing them together is their hatred towards Israel. All the pro-Palestine people choose to identify with this non-existential cause because it hurts Israel. We are at war. We are trying to bring hostages back home, and you are there applauding, chanting, shouting on their behalf.
Resistance is justified.
Resistance is justified.
They have a lot in common with terrorists. They have a lot in common with Hamas.
Just before you leave Israel and return back home, I have a question on a personal note. These days, you still feel persecuted, still feel the need to hide or to be suspicious?
Look, freedom is a choice, and I live freely. So whatever comes. I prefer to be free and get hurt in the process than being safe and living in slavery.
We know that your father disowned you. Are you in touch with anyone from your family?
No. It's finished about 12 years ago already, and I choose for them to move on.
Yeah.
I want to move on. And the fact is, what are we going to talk about? Besides blame and shame and honor, they are the ones who choose actually their political narrow views over their own son. So practically, as long as they are complicit in Hamas crime, as long as they identify as Hamas, Muslim Brotherhood, or even Muslims, as long as they have these false identities, there is no common ground between us. It was possible maybe 10, 15 years ago, but right now it's too late.
Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and hit subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Until next time, stay informed and inspired. This is Dejobnik signing off.